blog of fullflourishing.com, where I like to blog and make videos about living a life of intentionality. And today I am going to be sharing with you our art shed. You may be wondering, what in the world is an art shed? Well, it's really just an art space. It's just a space that we've dedicated to getting messy, having fun, using art materials, and it just happened to be a space that we had available for that. And so we turned it into just, a totally yes space, open-ended, a space that has lots of art materials. So if you are interested in seeing what in the world an art shed is, and also if you're interested in seeing what kind of art materials and supplies and activities we have available for our two boys, 3-year-old and a 15-month-old currently, then just keep on watching. So before I take you on a little tour of our art shed, I thought I'd give a little bit of a backstory to how we even, came to have an art shed and what that even is. So my husband and I, we've always lived in apartments, and when Samson was first born, we lived in a townhome, and it was very small. There wasn't a lot of space for much of anything, but I would do my best to just set him up little areas. And I just want to start out this video by prefacing and saying that if you do not have a shed, if you do not have a space in your garage, if you do not have an extra bedroom or whatever, if you live even in a 1-bedroom home, you don't need all of this space to have materials available for your children that are open-ended. There's lots and lots of creative ways to use the space you have. And in fact, before we turned this shed into an art shed, I actually used a portion of our living room and created just along the wall there an art space for Samson. When I was pregnant with Jericho. So he was a toddler at the time. He wasn't even 2 yet. And I will link that post below, because I actually did a post on it, and it has pictures and kind of goes over what kind of materials I had available for him. So if you're interested in seeing, something that is more in a smaller space, then definitely be sure to check that out after you get done watching this video. Even though we do have a homeschool room, which I will link that video below of our homeschool room tour, if you're interested, even though we do have a homeschool room, I had gone back and forth on, did I want to include the art supplies in there? Did I want to make it separate? Like, how did I want to do this? Because Angela at MomtessoriLife.com, I will try and link her below, but she, I think, has a post where she has shown how she has created an art space using like a plastic mat underneath to protect her carpet. Anyways, this is a shed that was here when we bought the house, and I guess that the people before us kept like baseball equipment and lawn equipment, but we have room in our garage for that. And what I want to do with this area, so first I thought I would make it kind of like a science shed, and I did make it that. But I found that like to come out here specifically just to do science, I don't know, it wasn't making sense. And so we didn't really have a need for it, because most of our science stuff is just outside. So then I thought, well, let's make it into an art shed. How would that work? And so I just started with things that I had. So as far as the art materials go, if you have absolutely no art materials, something that's really easy is to put, a $10 to $15 budget. This is actually what I do. I have a budget per month that I think, okay, every month I can buy this much of whatever materials we need. Or like if I'm wanting to buy sandpaper letters, which are more expensive, I could say, okay, so over the course of 2 months, I'm going to save up so that I can now buy the sandpaper letters. And so, also I'll go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and I'll use the 40% off coupon. So if I know that we're going to need a big ink pad and I don't want to pay $10 for an ink pad, I can use the 40% off coupon, or sometimes they have a 50% off coupon and get the ink pad for $5 and just make little trips here and there. So there's lots of ways that you can like begin to collect these materials. So I always want to encourage other families that when you're looking at videos or posts where someone has it all put together, I mean, generally it hasn't happened just overnight. It's been like a long process, and it has been for us too. Like I said, Samson is over 3 now. He's 3 years old, and when he was Jericho's age, so 2 years ago basically, our art space was just a little space inside of our house, and I didn't have all of these materials. And so now 2 years later, we finally have this art shed, and we some days come out here every single day, and sometimes we go a couple of days without coming out here because we may do something inside, or we're just too busy playing outside if the weather's nice. But this is a lovely area, so I'm going to take the camera. This is a lovely area to be able to come. Like today, it's really rainy. My hair is like curling up majorly. But it's really rainy today, so this is a great day for us to come out to the art shed. So yeah, let me take you for a tour. Welcome to our art shed. So I thought I would briefly just go through all of our materials here in the art shed and just quickly tell you where I got them from, and maybe it can inspire you and give you some ideas on how you can create your own art shed or art space or art nook for your little one. So starting at the front, yes, that is the broom I just swept the art shed with. There's our little camper. Starting at the front, we can go down here. So sometimes when we're outside, we like to sit on this blanket, so I just keep this blanket, and this one's here is our table from IKEA. It's just a very lightweight table. The baby's feet do not touch the floor with that IKEA table and chair, but it was like $20, so if you're looking for a table and chair that's not super expensive, it's great, but yeah, it's super lightweight. It's not my favorite. So this is one of Samson's very first canvas paintings that I just really envisioned having a space where their artwork could be shown off, and yeah. So this I just made, we just put some hooks in here, and I just used some yarn and some clothespins, and we just hang up the artwork. And it's not really so much about like the end product for the kids, it's really about the process, so it doesn't really matter. Just that they get to see that their artwork's up. So that's a mobile that I got a long time ago. This is just a little art card. I took the wheels off, and I'll go through that. So on top I have our various different like paper materials. So this one is just a smaller size. This is more for like colored pencils, and they all just have different textures. I have like a tracing, but Samson knows that he's not to come up here. This is for charcoal specifically. This one's for watercolor, but that I'm to get these out based on, you know, what he's wanting to do. And you know, buying that stuff can be really expensive, so I will go with my 40% off coupon and pick out just that one single item. So this is really just like a combination of lots of different things. I have some yarn in here. I try not to be too overwhelming. I have some felt scraps. He's really into just like, you know, being able to use scissors and cut different things. I have some coffee filters. We made butterflies with those. In here I have lots of the pipe cleaners, and we have some random like craft sticks. He likes to glue things to them. Yeah, and some paper bags. He, you know, sometimes comes up with his own things. Sometimes I say, hey, let's make a puppet. So then I just have this just blank journal notebook in here that he can use. So this is just kind of like a random, you know, area. Here are just some stickers. Really the bulk of our stickers are inside, and that's when we use stickers, but there's a few. And I guess there's nothing in here right now. I can't remember what was in there to begin with. We gotta change around sometimes. This is super cool. I do not know where my mother got it, but she gave it to me my senior year for graduation. I knew I was going to be a teacher, and I just love stuff like this, and so it's really, really cool. It just has all kinds of different scissor shapes, but Jericho loves doing it. He uses it as pegwork, actually. And then I have blank typing paper here. I have a clipboard. I need to add another one for Jericho. Sometimes I have tape in here. Right now this is just leftover flower tape that you use for making flowers. Most of my stuff is just stuff that I had, or just extra stuff. This is tissue paper. Down here, these are different ribbons, and yeah, mostly that's just ribbon that he can cut. Okay, I guess there's nothing under there. This is a very old chalkboard that my mom gave to me that she found somewhere, and so sometimes they like to do chalk in here. Sometimes we do chalk in the house too. We have an old trash can, just an old bathroom trash can that we don't need anymore. I have some pictures. I know it's really hard to see because of the lighting. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It has 10 on there because this was him at 10 months, and I used it for our Montessori birthday circle. But then I just repurposed it. And there's Samson too, so I guess these are Samson pictures. Oh, so cute. He's so little. So sometimes we raise this window up, but to kind of give us a breeze. And here's Samson too. We really need to represent Jericho up in this art shed. So up here are some of the materials. I'm sorry it's so dark. It's kind of a cloudy day, but these are some of the materials that I don't really want Jericho getting to without me knowing. So this chalk, just because it has some small pieces and he's still putting some things in his mouth, so I put it up higher, although he can reach that. In here, this is our charcoal. So I want Samson to let me know when he wants to use that. This is our ink station. So this is pretty neat. These are just feathers that I found on the ground, and Samson chose out this color of ink that he wanted from a local art store. Although you can get this stuff on Amazon or go to Michael's, I just thought that was, like, I used it as an experience. These are from leftover from high school, but these are ink pens. And then I also brought some toothpicks in here just to experiment with. And so when he uses this, he will actually come over here, and this little shot glass down here is what we might like put the ink into. It has a dropper, and we also use this for a watercolor to hold our water. So this little shelf, let me back up here so you can see better. So shows you all of that. And there's the top. So down here, these are some leftover little drawer things that I had. Let me see if I can move into better lighting. Let's see, there we go. So in the top one, these are some just regular scissors, and then these are, I just don't love these. I may just end up getting rid of them, but Jericho does like to play with them and you know, try to use them. They just don't cut well. They're meant to be like scissors before real scissors, but I just don't think they're a good plan because they don't really have a good result, and it's just frustrating for the kids. These are glue sticks, large and small. And then I trade out our stamps. Our stamp pad is right there. It's a really large one so that multiple stamps can go on at the same time and kids aren't getting frustrated because there's only one. And yeah, I have like a Frankenstein and some pumpkin ones for this month that they have not used yet. So up here is our stapler. I got that at Target, and it's perfect for Samson's hands. These are just some single punches that my mother-in-law gave me years ago from the Target dollar spot. Samson really likes those, and sometimes I have a hole punch in here, but right now it's in our schoolroom. And in here are just some stencils and yeah, rulers and just some different things like that. We have 2 glue bottles. Sorry, it's really bad lighting. And then I have these really old like color pastels that they like to use sometimes. And then down here, so this shelf is kind of like a little crazy looking. I know it's kind of dark. Yeah, so I just turned the camera around because even if it wasn't like a cloudy day today, like it still would be difficult to see. So on the shelf we have like 8 different buckets with things in it, and have little buckets. And so in this one are some beeswax, Stockmar beeswax crayons, which I'll link as many of these supplies below as I can. Ran out of memory. Anyways, these are from IKEA. They're little just like ink stampers. But yeah, Jericho loves these. They really love using them to manipulate like the lids on and off and stuff. Another bucket we have has some like glitter glue in it, and they go through that really fast. Like Samson likes to squeeze it. So I mean, like I bought 2 packages, and when it's out, and you just wait to get it for a while. I have some skinny markers, a great time to load up on your art supplies. I'm sure you know this, but a great time is like around back to school because things are on really good price and you can get several packages of markers and to last you all throughout the year. So these are the thicker markers. Let's see, I have this little bin or container has colored pencils. This one, I love it because it has like a little handle so they can easily carry it over there to the easel, which is a whiteboard, and it has an eraser, and it came with a skinny one, and then it came with these fatter dry erase markers. And then the final one on this bottom shelf has pens and pencils, which doesn't get used. But I just thought that I would have it available in case they wanted to explore pens and pencils, because the day may come when Samson, sees me writing with a pen and he wants to, explore with it too. But he has been interested in, I did get one of the little pencil sharpeners, and he has been really interested in sharpening the pencils and then also in using these erasers. So sometimes I just put things in here, even if maybe he's not quite ready for them, just for them to explore and just to see, because you never know. So yeah, let me take you over to this next part of the art shed. So there's the shelf we just went over, and there's all of the little, so you can see it's kind of like cluttered down there. Not a fan. And also I think I should try and Velcro these shelves to this shelf, because these little boxes slide and are kind of difficult for the kids to put things back in. So this right here is like something you'd put in your kitchen for like dishes or whatever, and I just am using it out here to give us more space. Maybe one day we might put shelves, depending, on how we continue to use this, but this is working for now. So this is really like our watercolor area. I wanted another space. Sometimes some of these chairs, one of these chairs are brought over here, and I have extra watercolor palettes out for when friends come over, because it's really hard to share a watercolor palette. And then I have the watercolor glass, or sometimes we use that for the ink. And then this is a pitcher that we will take inside back and forth with us and fill with water for watercolor. These are some little paint trays from Michael's. Some of these brushes, these are from like Melissa and Doug, and they go with the corresponding little cups, which I have over there. These like smaller ones are from IKEA. A great deal on these brushes from IKEA. We have other brushes too. You can get them at Michael's, wherever. These are from IKEA. They are watercolor colored pencils, so I really like them. They're really nice quality. So then over here, this is one of our big purchases. I got this off of Amazon, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but I love it. And this is, I really wanted something to organize our papers. So this paper over here, Samson knows, is expensive paper that I will get for him because it needs to be torn out, and I want to monitor that. But then this paper he can use, however he wants. This is tracing paper right here. And I did double stack a couple of colors, but this is a great shelf. Easy to put together. I love it. So up here I just have some strips just some random strips for cutting, because he's just really into liking to cut. And then I had some of these squares that I'd cut off of another project that I thought he might like to glue or cut or whatever. Down here, these pans, sometimes we use them to put paint in, like this one we might put paint in, and they use this as like their art palette. But this one we take back and forth with all of our like dirty materials, paint brushes and stuff, and wash out, and we just bring it back and forth with us in and out of the house. This bucket has all of our paint. We favor nice paint, using like acrylic paint. This paint here, for instance, I got this washable paint, and it is so cheap and so chinchy and junky. I got it a long time ago when Samson was still really little, and I just won't ever buy that again. The nice paint is the way to go, so wait till it's on sale at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Use your 40% off, get one color at a time. Yeah, so then this step stool is from IKEA. This easel was handed down to me, so I am not sure where it's from, but I know Melissa and Doug has some. These are the little Melissa and Doug cups I was telling you about. So Samson got these one Christmas. Let me see if I can. And so yeah, the paintbrush fits in there perfectly. So it's really great for, say, like a toddler age, Joka's age. But Samson doesn't really need this anymore. And then this bin here has our smocks. And we have extra ones in here for Mama, but also just for when friends come over. Because sometimes we do have friends come over in our art shed. And then down here, this outdoor rug, I'm just repurposing. We'd had it on our porch at one time. But it's, actually this rug was used for an outdoor play area that I made, an outdoor gross motor area that I'd made in our garage when we were living in that townhome and didn't have a lot of space. So I'll link that post below. It's a really cool little area for toddlers and even preschoolers. So I'm just repurposing that. And this was an old living room rug we had from Target. So, and then up here we just have storage. I have some stuffed animals because I just thought it was fun for them to like look down. Maybe creepy, I don't know. And then I have a couple of the extra school supplies like glitter, not school supplies, art supplies, like glitter and stuff up here. And then right here is really like having the worst trouble with all my memory today, but anyways, that's our like long construction paper. Yeah, and so then here's another little area, and then we did put 3 along this board. We did put 3 hooks so that if we choose to make mobiles or something, that we have a space to hang them up. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of our art shed. As you can probably see, I'm sweating out here. It's not that it's hot, but it's just like humid. Yeah, and I'm just starting to kind of feel a little hot out here moving around so much. But yeah, I hope you liked the tour of our art shed. I hope it gave you some ideas. And again, I just want to encourage you, if you just have like the tiniest of space, even if it's in your kitchen and all you have room for is just like a cart with a few supplies that you rotate in and out, that is okay. That's perfectly fine. The important thing is that children just have the ability and the time and the space to create. You know, you could have a tablecloth that you just get out and you lay, you know, you push your kitchen table back and you lay your tablecloth on the floor, and that's where they create. Or you could have it where you put it on the table and they just know, like, they know the process of cleaning up every time, and it's just like, you know, part of what y'all do. And I mean, that would be perfectly wonderful. So please don't feel like you need an art shed or you could never have anything like this. This just happens to be what we have, but we didn't always have this. And yeah, so I just want to encourage you, do art with your kids. And if you're worried about the mess, then just slowly start to introduce things. Watercolor is a great thing to introduce first before you just do paint. Sometimes, as far as things like Play-Doh and stickers and things like that, we do have some of that inside the house. And I used to have Play-Doh that I would keep out here, but yeah, I've moved it into the house instead, so that's something that we do inside. So anyways, if you found this video helpful and you like this video, if you will be sure to like it below, maybe comment on it, let me know what you think, if you have any other ideas, and I'll be sure to link as many supplies below in the comments as I can, and I'll link to some of my other posts that might give you some other ideas for that. So thanks for watching my video. I am gonna head inside because I'm about to melt and it has just started pouring rain, so I'm nice and cozy in here in the art shed, but I'm gonna head inside. And if you will be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!